We have this Pixel 3 XL that is not switching on. We received the phone from another shop. Let's go ahead and see how we can troubleshoot and fix this phone. So the first thing that I want us to do, I want us to connect the battery. You can see the battery is not connected. I want us to connect the battery, connect the charger to this phone. So taking a look at my charging arm method, there is no current consumption there. That's not exactly what we are looking for. It's very important because even from my book, The Block Diagram Master, you can see that you can easily determine where you should go ahead to troubleshoot after taking a look at the current consumption from your ammeter. But right now, because there is no current consumption, even 0.01, 0.02, 0.028, it shows clearly that the charging circuit, the power circuit is not functioning. And for us to confirm that, we just leave the charger connected and we set our multimeter to DC test range. So what I want us to do, I want us to test the battery connector to see if we are getting any voltage in the VBAD line. So we disconnect the battery, and we go ahead to test if you will get any charging voltage in the battery connector. If you take a look, I'm testing the VBAD line, there is no charging. Even if there is no charging voltage in the battery connector, there should be at least charging voltage in one of the ID pins here. So I think that, okay, you can see that that's a voltage, right? So by this reading, no voltage in the VBAD. I'm testing the VBAD right now. So let's go to one of the IV pins. You can see that we have 1.2 volt. So which means that the other circuit of the charging IC of this mobile phone is functioning, but what is not functioning is the VPH circuit. So this, I have a lot of ways to know whether the VPH is working or not, and this is one of the ways. I hardly use this method to determine whether the VPH is okay or not, but in this video you have learned this, which is very important. You can either use this way to know if the VPH is okay or not, and also to know if the charging port is also okay, and the VBus lines are also okay. So from here, what do? We go ahead to use our DC power supply. We set the voltage to set the amp to 5, the voltage to 4.2. So I'm going to switch the image to my microscope. Okay, so first let's set our multimeter to continuity test mode to see if we are getting a direct shot. We perform a cold testing. The red probe should go to the ground while the black probe should go to the VBAD line. And also you have to disconnect the charger and the battery. Then you can see we are getting 380 ohm reading right there, which is okay, basically okay, just for the VBAD line. So when I'm saying it's okay, when I say it's okay, most people will think that I'm saying that the PCB is okay. It's just showing that this particular section of the PCB is okay, which is the primary section of the PCB. So when you go ahead to use your DC power supply, we have our probes here. That's when the DC power supply will read the primary, both the primary and the secondary lines. That's why when using the DC power supply, you can be able to detect a house shorting. Meanwhile, that short is in the secondary section of the mobile PCB or somewhere in the mobile PCB. So let's go ahead to inject this voltage into the VBAD line. So if you click here, you will see that we are getting 2 amp current consumption right there. So this is without any trigger. Even if there was a trigger right here, you should not be getting that high amp in this particular mobile phone. So which means that, as we suspected, the mobile PCB is not okay. So we just have to go ahead, locate this VPH section. I know where it is in this mobile PCB, and if in case you don't know how to to locate that. You need schematic diagram software to be able to locate it. But I've worked on this PCB, but just to make everything clear for you, because I do these videos because I want you to learn from, so I try my best to make everything as clear as possible for you to easily grab on anything that I want to explain. So if we come here, go to my schematic diagram, and the schematic diagram is Orion schematic, and I click on the USB circuit, you will see that we have the battery connector here, right? So you can see we have the V-bar. This is where we are testing and doing the voltage injection here. If we follow that V-bar line, you will see that it gets into this IC, and this IC is the charging IC. So from the charging IC, we have the secondary voltage, which is the VPH. So you have to keep in mind that the VPH section of the mobile PCB is huge. But when it comes to the guideline, like what I'm using right here, it doesn't show the complete VPH circuit of the mobile PCB. If you use the bin mapping, you will see that the VPH is being distributed to other parts of the mobile PCB, because that's the main power supply of the mobile PCB. You will see that the VPH is distributed to this power manager IC, so that the power manager IC can use that voltage to power on, and also distribute it to sections like this and this also, and also to the network section. So we will go ahead to and troubleshoot this, but the first thing that we will have to check when you're troubleshooting VPH problem, you have to start from here, because this is the first circuit that converts the main power supply to the VPH. So the first components that are getting the VPH voltage are these ones right here. So we will go ahead and open the mobile PCB, examine the PCB. After dismantling the PCB, I notice that we have water corrosion here, which means that we have to go ahead and check this section. You have to go ahead and check this section. The short can be coming from this section. So I will go under my microscope so that you can see this clearly. This camera connector here, you will see we have water corrosion and like burns there. If you come to this other side, you will see that the PCB is totally messed up. Come here, you will see that. So we have to clean up this area. Have to remove all these shields here. I think it was easy to come out because of that water corrosion. You can see these capacitors are easily pulling out, are easily just coming out. After cleaning this area, let's go ahead to test if we are getting a short here. There is no short there. There is no short here. You can see this water corrosion was serious. So one of these capacitors that are coming out, one of them can be the one that was shorting. Yeah, we don't know. Let's just go ahead. That's not a short. That's not a short there. So after cleaning this, it shows that the shorting component is not here. Or maybe during removing these capacitors that the parts were damaged, we removed the short. I don't know, but let's go ahead and inject the voltage to the V bar again, then see. So we will go ahead and inject voltage into the V bar line and see if you will be getting that current consumption. If you are going to get that high current leakage that we were getting. So if you take a look at the DC power supply, you will see that that reading is okay, which means that after cleaning the PCB, we removed what was causing that current leakage. So everything should be at least okay now. The phone should be able to power on and also consume current when you connect the charger. So after mounting the motherboard, let's go ahead and test and see if doing this solve the problem. We are going to connect our charger, then take a look. We have a current consumption from our charging ammeter here. Let's see. Okay, great. You can see the phone is charging. It's charging. Okay, let's try to power up the mobile PCB. Press the power key. And this was like a little bit easier than I was expecting it to be. So yeah, this was a successful work. You can follow me for more videos. Check my profile. You will see a lot of educational videos how you can do proper troubleshooting. So everything is working here. Everything is good. Subscribe, follow for more videos. Thank you and see you soon.